And dangerous Doherty gang ended with a crash today in Colorado. As we reported earlier in this newscast, the trio rolled their getaway car today in Colorado during a high-speed chase. The siblings accused of shooting 20 rounds at a police officer in Florida, then robbing a bank in Georgia with semi-automatic weapons. So where do they go to court? Let's take it to the lawyers. Former prosecutor and Fox News legal analyst Arthur Aidala and the criminal defense attorney Drew Findling. What do you do? What do you do with this if you're the prosecutor here, Arthur? Who gets first crack?
Oh, Shepard, there are federal crimes that are committed here that are not state crimes. There are state crimes committed here that are not federal crimes. Everything anytime you cross over a border of a state to state, it's automatically a federal crime. So the federal and state authorities will sit down. The feds usually have they have priority. They get to go first. It's just the way the system is. And unfortunately for these 20-year-old kids, they probably will never see the light of day.
Did you say unfortunately? I'm not going to make a value judgment.
Anytime a 21-year-old goes away for the rest of their life, it's a sad thing. It's not a good thing.
Well, no, I was going to say one of those 20, it might be a good thing for the rest of society. One of them did have more than a dozen felonies already, felony convictions, and I guess the female of the three, Drew, had put together quite the writings and otherwise for herself.
Yeah, she really did. I mean, she's been deteriorating for most of this year with cases similar to this where she's been chased by police. She clearly seems to be going downhill. And I know we've, made a big deal about her being a stripper, but to add insult to injury, today you hear that the manager of the strip club said she was inconsistent and wasn't even a popular stripper.
They're facing, Shepard, they're facing so many different counts.
You're awful,
on so many different... Sorry, Drew. Didn't mean to step on your line there. They're facing so many different...
No.
They're facing so many different counts and so many different levels that when I say, Shepard, that the 21-year-old will never see the light of day, I mean never. He will have consecutive state sentences, consecutive... Shep, they're on video. There's cops. I mean, they will be convicted.
I know. There was a
be
trail
convicted.
of blood from Rockingham to Bundy, too. We'll see how this goes.
But I think the first case you're going to see is in what we call the Southern District of Georgia federally. You'll see the armed robbery case. Anytime you have a bank robbery, an FDIC institution, you're going to see that go first. That will absolutely be 100% be the first case. It will be a federally prosecuted case. And thereafter, if anybody wants to take a shot at them, they will. But the one thing in the federal system is there is no parole. So as Arthur said, it's going to be a long time before any of these three, trio, so to speak.
The warning signs were the warning signs, Arthur, were there over and over and over again. I'm not blaming the system or anything else. It's just mighty sad that we didn't get them locked up before they did all this.
You can probably blame the mom. I mean, if you want to start, you want to start throwing some blame around. The Associated Press called her, and she just hung up on him. I mean, there are tons of warning signs. There's warning signs, Shepard, when kids are 16 and 15 and 14, and responsible parents have to step in. It's not always the government's fault. It's the parents' fault for saying, hey, I got a problem kid. Now let me look to the government or whatever resources are out there to help my kid before they take out a gun and go rob a bank.
Drew, how do you defend them?
Shep, let me tell you, the youngest one had just been registered because of a sexting prosecution, and you never see anybody react like this when you're registered. When someone registers, it is a very oppressive process, and it scares people to death. And the fact that he did this lets us warning sign. There were other issues. Clearly, Shep, where we're going with this, you're going to have all these kids evaluated. It's the only way to do it. You've got to look at them mentally. You've got to see what was going on in their minds.
Drew Findling, Arthur Aidala, thank you both. Breaking news on Wall Street, and the Dow is in free fall again. These are the lows.